Let's learn some Arabic from the Qur'an, part 2. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Insan after أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا. So let's take the Arabic grammar and vocab from it, and then we'll take a benefit at the end. So this whole ayah is talking about helping people who are in need and why they do it. So it begins with wa, as most of us know. Wa just means and. We can move on after that quite swiftly. Yut'imuna comes from the verb at'ama, which we refer to as a form 4 verb. At'ama in the present tense, yut'imu, it means to feed. To feed. The word ta'am means food, but we use at'ama if we're feeding people or even feeding animals as well. So yut'imun, it's in the plural, una on the end puts it in the plural. So they feed. وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ. So they feed the food. Literally, they feed the food to who? عَلَى حُبِّهِ. So we're not talking about who just yet. We're talking about what they're feeling. Okay, عَلَى حُبِّهِ. Literally, we'd break this down to upon their love. عَلَى means upon, just like when we say Assalamu alaykum. This عَلَى is what becomes alaykum, meaning upon, and then hub means love, okay? And then the he on the end means his love, ala hubbihi, right? But this doesn't really mean they feed them the food upon their love. It means they feed them the food despite their love for it, okay? So they love this food themselves, right? It's not leftover food that they don't want anymore, okay? Allah's specifying this. وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ. They feed them the food despite their love for it. Who are they feeding? Miskinan wa yatiman wa asira. They are feeding miskinan. The miskin are the poor people. Okay, very similar to the term faqir. Although miskin, my teachers have generally told me that miskin is the person who really has nothing. Like we could perhaps use the term faqir to mean poor, even in terms of like relative poverty, perhaps. But miskin, just as the letter with a sukoon over it has no sound at all, the miskin is a person who has no wealth at all. So they feed the food despite their love for it to the miskin. Who else? The yatim. The yatim is the orphan, and then also the asira. The asira, this isn't a word you see so often. Asir, it means a captive. It actually comes from an Arabic verb. There is a verb asara ya'siru, I believe, which means to bind or to tie somebody up. Yeah, asara ya'siru. And there's some really useful Arabic words actually that come from asara actually. So, for example, the word asir, it means captivating, which is really useful, I think. You know, hada asirun, this is captivating. Or the ism maf'ul actually is really interesting too. Ma'sur bishay'in, so it means to be captivated by something. So, مثلا, for example, أنا مأسور جدا باللغة العربية. أو أنا مأسور جدا بهذا الفيديو. I'm captivated by this video, which I hope you all are. They feed the poor and the orphan and the captive. إنما نطعمكم. Innama, we can treat this as kind of a verily. Definitely we do this thing. Innama nut'imukum. Verily we feed you. This is from the same verb actually. It's from at'ama, present tense yut'imu. But when it's us, when it's nahnu, it's nut'imu. We feed kum. Innama nut'imukum. Verily we feed you. What for? Liwajhillah. Liwajhillah. Literally, a wajh is a face when we use it in the Arabic language, and Allah is Allah. Okay, so liwajhillah. And then what do they say next? This is perhaps the most beautiful part of this ayah, because whenever we give something, especially when we're encouraged to sadaqah and things like this these days, we're often kind of, shaitan comes to us and says to us, oh, maybe we need the money, maybe we can get this out of it, maybe if I let people see me do this, then people will think well of me and things like this. But what do they say? What do the good people say? They say, La nuridu minkum. They say, La, we do not. Nuridu, we want. Minkum, we do not want from you. What? We do not want from you jaza'an wala shukura. We do not want from you a jaza'. A jaza' it means a reward, but not in terms of a good thing necessarily. A jaza' it can actually be something bad. It can be a punishment, but it's a repayment for whatever you did, right? It can be a repayment in a financial sense as well. لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا. We do not want a repayment from you, and not even thanks. I love these ayat. Whenever I think about the beauty of giving sadaqah, or in any sense in this dunya of helping another person, Being this sincere that you don't want any reward, you don't want any jazat, you don't want any payback for this good thing, and you don't even want thanks. You know, Allah could have stopped the ayah at "La nuridu minkum jaza'an." Allah could have just stopped the ayah there, but he continues it. He says, we don't even want a thank you. We would be perfectly happy with Allah's wedge, right? We don't even want from you a thank you, right? Not a reward or not a thank you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you and I from among the people who are good enough to give things despite our love for them. Assalamu alaikum.